Crappy New Year. Ah, New Year's. A day filled with new hope and fresh starts, except when it wasn't. For some unfortunates in history, January 1 was a dead end, and a rather ghastly one. Take, for example, the 5th century monk and martyr Telemachus. He bravely stepped into the middle of a gladiatorial fight in Rome, attempting to stop the human slaughter. Tragically, he was stoned to death by the bloodthirsty audience, who were unappreciative of his noble effort to save lives. Telemachus's act of courage, however, did not go unnoticed. His martyrdom eventually contributed to the decline of the brutal gladiatorial games, showing that even in death, his impact was profound. Then there's Charles the Bad of Navarre. In 1387, he met a grim fate, burning to death in his own bed. This unfortunate incident occurred after an attendant accidentally ignited the brandy-soaked bandages that had been wrapped around the king, trying to treat his ailments. Charles was known for his tyrannical rule and questionable choices, but it's ironic that his own excessive lifestyle led to his fiery end. The phrase, cautionary tale, truly embodies his life, reminding us that even kings are not immune to the consequences of their decisions. Now, let's not forget Louis XII of France. Despite being aging and decrepit, he was fortunate enough to marry a young and beautiful English princess, Mary, Henry VIII's younger sister, in 1514. Their union was celebrated, yet it was short-lived. Louis, eager to produce an heir, found his vigorous attempts too much for his failing health. Tragically, he dropped dead from exhaustion just 3 months after the wedding. Yet, unlike those others whose grim demises fell on New Year's Day, at least Louis had some fun on the way out. His legacy includes the consolidation of royal power and the strengthening of France, proving that sometimes joy can come even amid tragic ends. Speaking of tragic ends, let's delve into the tale of King Henry IV of France. In 1610, on the very first day of the year, he was assassinated by a fanatical Catholic who opposed his policies. Henry had worked tirelessly to bring peace to France after years of civil war. But his assassination marked a dark moment in history. His death led to further instability and unrest in a country that had just begun to heal. The irony of starting a new year with bloodshed is not lost on history. And let's not overlook the infamous New Year's Day tragedy of 1801, when the notorious English highwayman Dick Turpin was captured. He had been a figure of folklore, romanticized for his daring escapades. However, his capture and subsequent execution marked the end of his legendary status. On the gallows, he faced his fate with a bravado that would go down in history. His story serves as a reminder that crime often leads to grim consequences, even for those who seem invincible. Now, turning our gaze to the realm of music, we cannot forget the fate of the legendary composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. While he did not die on New Year's Day, his final days were clouded by ill health and financial difficulties. Mozart's works, filled with beauty and depth, serve as a stark contrast to the pain he experienced in life. His passing in 1791 left a void in the music world, but his legacy endures, proving that art can transcend even the darkest of times. Yet, among these tales of demise, there are stories of resilience. Take the case of Sir Isaac Newton, who was born on January 1, 1643. His contributions to science revolutionized the way we understand the universe. While he faced immense challenges and personal struggles, his intellect and determination changed the course of history. Newton's legacy reminds us that even on the darkest of days, brilliance can emerge. In conclusion, while New Year's Day may symbolize new beginnings for many, it has also been a stage for some of history's most tragic events. The stories of Telemachus, Charles the Bad, Louis XII, Henry IV, Dick Turpin, and even Mozart serve as reminders that life is filled with unexpected twists. So as you raise your glass to toast to the new year, remember those whose stories didn't end quite as happily. May their legacies inspire us to seize the moment and create our own tales worth telling. Thank you for watching Dark Matters. Be sure to subscribe for more tales of the dark, strange, and forgotten. And who knows? The next story could be darker,